Why isn't it a lot? Is it already? Can you get Basil? It's telling me if I don't save the changes, but it's in like I already approved it. Let me check this. I already approved it, but it keeps popping up that if I don't know what it's doing. Is it in there with my? Okay. What's your name, sir?
Francisco Javier Alvarez Jr.
All right, you're charged with criminal trespass and interference with judicial proceedings. So I am going to appoint Jill Guka to represent you, order you not to return to the incident location, and hold you on a $500 bond, and your court date will be tomorrow at 1 p.m.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, bye. What's your name?
All
All right, you have a warrant out of Justice Court for drug paraphernalia, driving on suspended license, and reckless driving from May of last year. So I am going to release you, give you one more chance to show up March 3rd at 8:30, or a warrant will issue for your arrest. You understand? All right, you're released. All right, what's your name, sir?
Zachary Burdett.
I'm sorry, what?
Zachary Burdett.
Oh, okay. Somebody got missed on my list. Just a second. All right, so you have a warrant for operating a mechanism while vehicle unattended on Sarita. Another one from July, no, they're the same, it looks like, July 11th of 2024.
Those are my charges, miss.
No,
No.
you're Mr. Burdett.
Yes. Zachary?
Yep. And what I have is 2 cases out of Sarita charging you with operating a mechanism while vehicle is unattended. I have no clue what that is, but I'm going to arraign you on it, and then you can go to Sarita and tell them they're not your charges, because that's what I've got you for. So
Trespassing?
I got a trespass probably on your city court case, but we're not there yet. So you got to go to Sarita on February 25th and figure out what these are, okay?
Okay.
At 8:30. If you don't show up, warrants will issue again. So these have warrants on them. So make sure that you show up. And then I will get to your other one in a second. Then on your city court cases, let's see, you have a new trespass, and then you have an older trespass, and a failure to appear. And if you want to plead guilty to those, I will sentence you to time served and 12 months of unsupervised probation where you don't return to the incident location. Do you want to do that, or do you want to plead not guilty and come back to court?
Not guilty.
All right, then you've got to come back to court on February 26th at 9:30, or a warrant will issue for your arrest, and your conditions of release are do not go back to either of those incident locations. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then you're released.
Thank you.
You tried, Jim, you tried. All right, what's your name, sir?
Robert Barrera.
Okay. You have a warrant for your arrest for disorderly conduct and criminal trespassing. And that is from 2023 was the offense date. And Judge Pescara wants you held on a $24.99 bond. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to appoint who? I will appoint Doug Taylor to represent you and set it tomorrow at 1 o'clock for your next court date. All right.
So I'm gonna be held.
You're being held until tomorrow at least. Yep, but you'll have a lawyer. Okay.
Oh, okay. I never knew about this.
All right. Well, for some reason, Judge Pescara wants you held for this review hearing. So I'm going to go along with her wishes on this, that she wants you held on this bond. So they'll see you tomorrow. All right. That's it, sir. What's your name, sir?
Michael Griffiths.
Okay. These are from today. You've got a fictitious plate and a false reporting, but it looks like you're in there already anyway for a probation hold. So I'm going to release you on these, and you need to come back to court if you are out on March 3rd at 8:30. And if you're not, they'll look for you at the jail, but I'm not going to hold you on these, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Don't drive without a valid license and come back to court. And that's it, sir. What's your name?
Joshua Sandstrop.
All right, looks like Mr. Straub, you have a warrant for your arrest out of somewhere. Let's see where. I guess justice court for shoplifting. So I am going to order you not to go back to the incident location of the shoplifting and come back to court on March 3rd at 8:30 in justice court. A warrant will issue for your arrest. You understand on that one?
Yes.
All right, then you have city court cases. Let's see. Shoplifting, drug paraphernalia. You got another hold? Yes, you do. DOC. Actually, okay. So I am going to hold you on $100 bond on these city court cases since you've got that DOC hold and give you a public defender. And then your next court date will be February 7th at 1:45. You can take care of those things before you go to DOC.
Okay.
All right, and that's it. What's your name, sir?
Julian Ambrosio.
All right, you are charged with domestic violence, assault, domestic violence, disorderly conduct. I'm going to order you not to have any contact with Pedro Ortega and not to return to his residence. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
No acts of domestic violence, and you got to come back to city court on February 28th at 9:30, or a warrant will issue for your arrest. All right, you're released with those conditions. And that's it, sir.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Shannon Findersel.
All right, ma'am. I've got an old paraphernalia case where you pled guilty and you were going to do diversion and you never did it. So now is the time that I would enter that guilty plea and sentence you. So I'm gonna do that today, okay? So the plea that you entered into was a $250 fine for this drug paraphernalia and 8 substance abuse classes. And I will say they're due by December of this year. So you got a long time to get them done, okay?
Okay.
And except there's nothing suspended, so why would I even bother to do that? All right, I'm just gonna assess you the 250 and waive those proofs because I don't have anything hanging over your head. So what's the point? So how do you want to pay that fine?
Can I pay? Got to pay it right now, or can I pay it within a certain amount of time?
You can pay it on time. So that's what I'm thinking. You want to pay $25 a month?
Yeah, I can do that.
25 a month, starting March 1st, okay? So that gives you a month, but
Yep.
don't forget, 'cause you'll go to collections, okay?
Yes. Okay.
All
Thank you.
So that was the end of that. You're on 12-month unsupervised probation and just pay that fine, okay?
Okay.
All right, that's
So my release or? Okay. Thank you.
I think you're released. Let's say that for sure. Yes, you are.
Yes.
Hi, Ishmael Velasquez.
What's your name?
Ishmael Velasquez.
All right, you're charged with criminal trespass, prescription drugs, drug paraphernalia. So I am going to order you not to go back to the incident location. No alcohol or illegal drugs. And I know you got another hold. So when you get out, you got to come back to city court on March 5th at 2 o'clock or a warrant will issue for your arrest. Okay.
Okay,
All right. That's it, sir.
thank you.
Yeah. What's your name, ma'am?
Deborah Woodard.
All right. You are charged with domestic violence, criminal damage. And I am going to order you not committing acts of domestic violence and come back to city court on February 28th at 9 o'clock or a warrant will issue for your arrest. You understand?
Yes,
Okay, then you're released.
thank you.
Okay.
I need something to write with.
You'll get a piece of paper with all the information on it. I'm gonna say, we don't, just, even somebody, you gotta take it from that. Again, this, you tell us about this, we're finding. That is. Yeah, and once he comes back, I'm gonna teach you.
Well,
So,
What's your name, sir?
Frank Anthony Hernandez Molina.
Okay. I gotta find you. Just a sec. Is he there? Oh, there he is. He's orange. Okay, just a sec. All right, so you are charged with burglary in the second degree, theft, possession of narcotics, possession or theft of means of transportation, possession of dangerous drug, possession of drug paraphernalia from today. And counsel state's asking for a $15,000 bond, and I know that Mr. Hernandez Molina already has a DOC hold. So how do you feel about that?
Your Honor, I don't believe it needs to be that high. If he's on parole, he just got out of prison. But we don't object to a bond given the hold.
Okay, so I will appoint the legal defender. Don't go back to the incident location and no contact with the victim. No alcohol or illegal drugs. $10,000 bond, $75,000 bond. Pretrial
7,500.
services, 7,500, sorry, 7,500, didn't mean to scare you. Pretrial services, if posted, I will show that there's a DOC hold and the preliminary hearing will be February 10th at 1:30. Okay.
Come with me.
Smaller.
Hello.
What's your name? Mr. Hopkins, you're charged with domestic violence, attempted second-degree murder. Counsel, the state's asking for $1 million bond. Did you want to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor. In my experience, the $1 million bonds are reserved for first-degree murders. Second-degree and attempts are usually 500,000, so that's what we'd be asking.
My understanding is that the victim's on life support, Mr. Terrace, is that right? That's what the sheriff told me.
Judge, that is my understanding as well. I don't have any further updates.
Okay. All right, I am going to appoint Nicholas Brereton to represent Mr. Hopkins. No contact with Anissa Moreno or her family, no return to her residence or work, no alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms, no acts of domestic violence. $1 million bond, February 10th at 1:30 is the preliminary hearing. All right, and here is our Spanish speaker is next.
You take me 5 minutes. Take a seat right there.
Hello, what is your name, ma'am?
Lluvia Colosio.
Okay, do you need the interpreter? Yes. Maria Jose, are you there?
Yes, Your Honor,
Okay,
I'm here.
all right. Ms. Pelosia Lopez, you are charged with fraudulent schemes and theft.
Entonces, señora Colosio, se le está acusando por el cargo de cometer actos fraudulentos y artificios.
I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you.
Y voy a nombrar al abogado de oficio para que la represente.
I'm going to order you not to go back to the incident location and not to have any contact with the victims, your employer.
Y voy a ordenar que usted no puede regresar al lugar del incidente y tampoco debe de ponerse en contacto con la víctima, que es su lugar de empleo.
And I'm going to release you on your promise to appear in court on February 19th at 1:30. If you don't appear, a warrant will issue for your arrest.
Y voy a dejarla en libertad bajo su propia promesa que se va a presentar para su siguiente audiencia, que está fijada para el 19 de febrero a la 1:30 de la tarde. Si no se presenta, se va a su arresto.
Understand?
¿Quedó entendido, señora?
Sí.
Okay.
Yes.
Make sure you call the public defender's office tomorrow and come to court, then you're released.
Entonces asegúrese de ponerse en contacto con su abogado defensor y usted va a quedar en libertad.
Yeah, okay.
That's my turn.
Yep.
Call before I go to this.
Definitely.
So call tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, good luck.
Thank you.
Here, hold on a minute. Yes, in the room, they're already on phone, the last court, then right now. Felonies.
The next one is a Spanish one as well, Your Honor.
It is? I don't know, is it? We don't think so. I think that you're done.
Okay, thank you. Have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
You too. Who's Alvarez a co-defendant with? I forget.
It's with Molina Hernandez.
Oh, okay. What did I do with him?
Or Hernandez Molina.
Did I?
Sorry.
I kept him, right? Yeah, I did. Okay, I just need to know what it is. Okay. Okay, thanks. Well, she has to be. What's your name, ma'am?
Hey, Alvarez?
All right, you are charged with burglary in the second degree, theft and theft of means of transportation. And also you've got a tampering with physical evidence charge. Counsel, the state's asking for a $5,000 bond. She does have, I have a lot of failures to appear in front of me too. So did you want to be heard?
Your Honor, we'd be asking for no more than 2,500 given her homeless and unemployment status.
Okay. All right, I will appoint the legal advocate's office to represent Ms. Alvarez. No return to the incident location, no contact with the victims, no alcohol or illegal drugs, $2,500 bond, pretrial services have posted, and February 10th at 1:30 is a preliminary hearing. Then I have lots of failures to appear in justice court. So in justice court, we've got a biting dog case, a shoplifting case, and another shoplifting case, all with failures to appear. So I will hold Miss Alvarez on $500 on all of them, appoint Doug Taylor to represent her. And for now, set her for tomorrow at 1 p.m. They might change that one because of the felony hold. Said Mr. Taylor will be your attorney on that, on the misdemeanors. But that didn't fill in. It only fills in when I don't want it to.
Is that all, Your Honor?
No, I'm doing all my paperwork because you have so many cases and they didn't populate like they do sometimes so nicely. So let me do all my paperwork for a minute so I don't get confused, and then we will get to her city court cases. And one more, and then I will be with you. All right, then I have city court cases of drug paraphernalia. I'm going to release you on that one, ma'am, and then, but I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you and set you for March 21st at 9 o'clock. So if you're out on everything else, come see us in city court. And if not, your public defender will tell us what you want to do. And that's the end of that. Oops, that should have been floats, right? Okay. Thank you.
Lost it.
Yeah, just a moment, Your Honor.
Okay.
Okay, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, so I have a warrant for Miss Bostic out of Santa Cruz County, which I think she's been released on before. Dangerous 2022 and three failures to appear on these cases. So it's got $1,000 bond. Counsel, do you want to be heard? Or do you?
Yes.
Okay,
Sorry.
go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. I understand the state's concerns, being released multiple times on the same case. However, I do think this time there is a change in she had a stroke and septic, which is why she was in the hospital. So I understand the court's concerns, but I think now maybe a little bit of a different circumstance, and she has more motivation and clear-mindedness to show up.
Okay, yeah, I was trying to figure out that timeline, but that makes sense to me too. All right, I'm going to release you, ma'am, in order to call Santa Cruz County for the court date by next Wednesday, okay? Wednesday by February 3rd, whatever day that is. That might be, maybe I should, yeah, by next Wednesday's February 5th. So make sure you call them, get a court date by that date, or you're going to get another warrant. You understand?
Yes.
Okay, then I'm going to release you.
And lost it. You're gonna know.
I just want to say thank you, Mr. Terrace, for not being Mr. Poston.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
It makes court go much smoother. All right, what's your name, sir?
Christopher Haberbush.
All right, you are charged with theft of means of transportation. So I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Don't go back to the incident location, no contact with the victim. And and I am going to release you on your promise to appear in court on February 19th at 1:30. If you don't appear, a warrant will issue for your arrest. So make sure you call the public defender's office and come to court. All right, sir?
Thank you.
So,
What's your name?
George Mugabo.
All right, you're charged with aggravated harassment and domestic violence. And counsel, do you have this Form 4, the rare Form 4 that is here that I have? Or no? Do you have the risk assessment?
Are you asking me? Your
I
Honor?
am, yeah.
I don't have that, no.
Yeah, okay. It has a total of 2, so it's a elevated risk on the risk assessment. And the state is asking for a $25,000 bond. Did you want to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor. I don't think it needs to be that high. He does have verified support and housing with this mother, but that does not include verified employment. This is considered a nonviolent offense according to pretrial services, and he is scoring a level 1 on their matrix. So he doesn't have an active NVCA flag either. So we'd be asking for no more than $10,000.
Okay. Well, we know how pretrial services is about these non-violent things. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent the defendant, order him not to have any contact with Miss Glenn, not to return anywhere near where she is, not to go within 1,000 feet of her. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no guns. Do you have any guns, sir?
No.
No acts of domestic violence. $25,000 bond, pretrial services if posted. And the preliminary hearing will be February 10th at 1:30.
Parker.
What's your name, sir?
Richard Parker.
All right, you are charged with trafficking in stolen property and possession of a vehicle known to be stolen from November 24th, 2024. I don't know if you guys got that, but the deputy corrected all the dates on there, so. All right, I assume that the state is asking for this $15,000 bond because of the long criminal history of Mr. Parker. Is that it, Mr. Harris?
That's correct, Judge.
Okay. Counsel, do you want to be heard?
Got a job, baby.
Your Honor, so we're actually asking that you release him on pretrial services. His last offense is from 2021. He was released then. He didn't have any violations. Then he was put on probation. He also didn't have any violations. So he did well on all of those. He also has housing, employment, and a job. He's been here for a while, almost 20 years. And this is considered a non-violent offense. He doesn't have an active NVCA flag. So we're asking you to are inclined for a bond, then no more than a $5,000 bond.
Okay. I think the criminal history is a little old and this is a nonviolent offense. So I am going to appoint the public defender to represent Mr. Parker. No return to the incident location, no contact with the victim, no alcohol or illegal drugs. I will release you to pretrial services. And you need to come back to court on February 19th at 1:30 or a warrant will issue for your arrest.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Your Honor, that, you know about pumps and refuse, correct?
No, I didn't know that, but
Okay, he got sent to housing and then he refused.
all right. So we'll set him for the morning then, I guess. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Your Honor, have a good night.